fully automated driverless cars are not a question of if, but a question of when. Intel estimates the new passenger economy will be worth $7 trillion. As old Muskie's latest tweet controversy shows us, the future of fully automated vehicles is almost here. But we've been promised driverless cars for ages now. Why are they not already here? Essentially, there are only three barriers between us and driverless cars: physical, cognitive, and legal. The physical barriers are primarily that of hardware limitations, and in most cases have been overcome. Tesla, for example, are preemptively installing the hardware required for autonomous driving in their newer models, meaning their cars are just a software update from being driverless. The cognitive barrier is software development, which is also well underway. Waymo, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, are one of the leaders in software development. So that leaves the legal barrier. This looks to be the hardest barrier to overcome, as this represents how self-driving cars will be integrated into society. So let's look at some of the legal issues surrounding self-driving cars. A video on all these issues would be hours long, so let's just look at one single issue: the issue for who is liable for an accident. So, if a self-driving car hits a pedestrian, who is liable for damages? We have three options: the driver, the company that makes the car, and the engineers who built it. Well, first off, we can get rid of the driver because the clue is in the name, driverless. It's very possible that autonomous cars of the future will have no direct control inside for the passengers, or even have passengers at all. Okay then, so the company that makes the car. Well, if you're a multi-million-dollar car company, you're likely going to want to stay that way, and not have to pay out every time one of your cars is in an accident. So we can rule out the company as well. So, finally, the engineer who designed and built the car. I mean, this is entirely possible, but good luck hiring a full team of engineers who are willing to take on that risk. So maybe there's a fourth option, one that's a little more radical. We make the car liable for its own actions. You might be thinking, whoa, slow down there, guy. These cars aren't conscious. How could they be legally liable? I mean, it's not like robots maliciously commit crimes.
Are they the robot mafia? Yes.
It's not like robots are being arrested for ecstasy possession. Yes, that was an oddly specific example because 4 years ago that happened. Random Darknet Shopper was an art exhibition set up in Sweden. The exhibition was given Bitcoin by its creators and set to randomly buy items on the deep web and have them delivered to the gallery hosting it. The exhibition was shut down when Darknet Shopper bought and had ecstasy delivered to the gallery. The creators of the robot, however, were not charged. The authorities decided that since the creators hadn't bought the ecstasy themselves, they weren't liable for its possession. So, Swedish robots aside, how could the legal system be adjusted for robots that are liable for their actions? Well, the groundwork is already here. Each car could be assigned its own legal personality. What is a legal personality? When a company is sued, it is not the CEO that's sued, nor is it the employees that are sued. It is the legal entity of the company itself, the company's legal personality. As is the way with the law, this solution leads to numerous rabbit holes. If an AI is given legal personality, then it's possible for an AI or a robot to purchase property, to sign its own contracts. Furthermore, how would a car pay damages? One solution could be that the cars earn their own money. When it's not being driven by its owner, it could go off and drive other people around and operate as a self-employed taxi service. It could then save that money in a rainy day fund. Its a legal personality, the car could have a bank account. If AI and robots are going to have their own legal autonomy, then it makes sense to program them with the morality they are going to be judged upon. A problem when you realise humans themselves can't agree on every moral issue. The trolley problem is a popular conundrum in moral philosophy. Imagine a scenario where an out-of-control trolley is running along a track with 5 people tied in front of it. Fortunately, there's a lever within your grasp that if you pull it, the trolley will be diverted onto a siding, though on the siding there is another person tied to the track. Do you pull the lever and save the 5 people while sacrificing one, or do you let the 5 die and not be responsible for murder? It's not hard to imagine a similar situation with a self-driving car full of passengers that could avoid a pedestrian in the road, but in doing so, cause a collision killing its passengers. What should the car do? The public wouldn't stand for self-driving cars that kept hitting pedestrians, but neither would passengers get in cars that might sacrifice themselves if they mistook a lamppost for a person. This video never really could give any concrete answers. We are dealing with the future after all, so apologies if it's only raised more questions than it's answered. I will, however, leave a link to all my sources in the description because they do a far better job at predicting the future than I ever could. How will AI and by extension self-driving cars be treated by the law? The truth is, we don't know. We can only make predictions.